Hi, Mr. Neely here. I want to talk about example number 2, where we are focusing on the measures of the spread, which is the interquartile range, which is called the IQR. And we also want to talk about comparing two box plots to each other. So Group A and Group B, some things you can say about Group A and Group B. When you're comparing them, Group B has a higher median. So when we look at medians, that's a very important concept that we want to see. Well, on average, these kids did better. How do you know? Because the median is higher than this one. Can we actually see the mean? No. We can only see 5 points of data for each one of these. And even then, we're not 100% sure that, like for say, well, we're pretty sure that the 18 and the 29 are the only ones we can be sure about. These other ones, this can be, since it's a median, can be an average of two numbers. That 26 may not be in the original data. That 26 may be an average of 27 and 25. So if you're saying, well, which numbers do we know for sure are in Group B? There's only two numbers we can know. That's 18 and 29 because they are our upper and lower extremes, which are also called our minimum and maximum. Everything else in this are medians, which we know from our understanding of medians, they can be averages of two other numbers. So when we find the interquartile range, which one of these has a bigger interquartile range? They look very much the same. Well, this one is 26 for the upper quartile, and then it looks like 21.5. So it's actually 26 and 21.5. If we subtract those two, 26 minus 21.5, we're going to get 4.5. For Group A, it looks like 24 is the upper quartile, or quartile 3, and 20 is the lower one. Well, the difference of those is 4. So even though they kind of look the same, Group B has a bigger interquartile range. Now, does that mean it has more data? Well, we don't know. From looking at this, there could be 100 people represented by Group B and only 20 represented by Group A. That's another thing we can't tell from a box plot. We don't know how many data are in each one of those. They could both have the exact same dancers. There's dancers. But we don't know if there's different, like there's 50 in this one and 20 in this one. We don't know that. So looking at box plots, we can tell what the median is. We can tell what the spread is. Another thing, these are very similar groups. This one's a little bit more spread out. If a group is more spread out than another one's, that means it's more diverse. Okay? If they're all really close together, that means they all have the same, like in this situation, age. So this group has a lot more, I wouldn't say they're old people because 29 is not old, but they have a wider variety of ages, but not that much. There are situations where you have a much wider variety. If you compare the ages of students at our school, you're probably going to get a much smaller range than if you compare the ages of teachers. Yeah, I know. I'm the oldest one probably. All right. So comparing data again, you need to always put the data in order. And then I want you to try this one. I mean, this is talking about some more making box plots and finding the range of data and the interquartile range. But I want you to try this one and see. Right now you can tell that one of these is definitely bigger than the other one for both the range and the interquartile range. Remember, interquartile range is just saying the range from one side of the box to the other. The upper quartile and the lower quartile subtracted. So I want you to try your turn, and then let's talk about it.